Welcome to That Weekend Feeling with Daron Mann.
That Weekend Feeling is brought to you by the Weekend Post and the Daily Dispatch Weekend Edition. That Weekend Feeling today speaking to Pieter De Villiers, the former Springbok coach, recently concluded his one-year contract in command of the EP Elephants. Pieter, good morning. Some reflections on that season with the EP Elephants. How did it go from your point of view?
Yeah, I think it was a good season for the one reason that we had the opportunity to change people's minds, people's lives, although there was a few obstacles that we had to overcome, I think we really managed to actually pave the way for people to be ready for their lives. The problems that we detected is still there. There's no money. There's no money to buy any kind of players in that place. We just had to stick with what we were dealt with, and we couldn't bring in new guys so that we can strengthen our side. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, And the big thing is, whenever you make a rugby decision in rugby, and you add finances to it, it will always work. But if you're in a rugby union and you make financial decisions, it will never work. And at this stage, we are more focusing on making financial decisions at the union. And that is why we struggle to actually make ends meet there.
Pieter, we've long bemoaned the slide in the fortunes of EP Rugby, from one-time top 6 team to regular also-rans playing in the second tier of South African rugby. What concrete steps can be taken to restore the province to rugby royalty?
Yeah, firstly, you must get people in office who want to serve. In this country, the reason why we are where we are is because too many egos has taken over the real issue of getting into something to go serve the people who brought you into that position. And at this stage, I think there's too bit of an ego in that place. I regard it as something where you can't go nowadays to any bank, to any place in our country without an identity document. So I regard that the whole issue of our rugby as it became an identity document for too many of our administrators. For them, without rugby, they're going to be nothing. And now they clutch to it and they claw to it and they just want to be theirs because of that kind of ego that we're talking about. So yeah, it's going to be very, very tough. It's going to be very, very tough for us to even think that we can get close to anything if we really don't give up that small little margin of control to something bigger and greater what the game needs, And that is maybe the one problem that we sit down in the province is that while we can't dispute God's hand, he caused Andre to die, and Andre was actually the one great hope that the union had, and I think with him, I won't say all hope, but a lot of hope is gone, and I hope that we will find somebody soon that will be in his mode where they care more about the game than about themselves,
We're speaking about Andre Ryderman, sadly recently departed due to illness brought on by COVID complications. He was the president of the union, Pieter.
Yeah, he was the president, but let me tell you, an honest man. What you see is what you get. A guy who gave his life and actually sacrificed such a lot for the game, It's exactly what we do need in this country. People who are prepared to serve through in a position that's been given to them, to put the people first. And, sadly we lost the man. And, it's going to take, I think, quite a time to build again what he has started.
Was there any appetite for renewal of your contract at the end of the season?
I don't know. I really don't know. As I speak to you here now, nobody spoke to me in Eastern Province. No nobody came to me and said, listen here, we are going to renew your contract. Just hang in there. We're looking for a few things to put in place. Up till now, no one spoke to me. And, it's not the first time that happened to me. It happened to me previously with SA Rugby where they, after the World Cup, they never spoke to me. And then when my time was up, it was up and I had to look for something. It happened to me at the university when the time was up. Nobody speaks to you. So, wow, for me to sit down and wait and get bitten again the same way, it was not on at this stage, So I didn't make up my mind completely about leaving rugby. I think rugby made up my mind for me by not speaking to me.
Let's turn our attention to the Springboks, Peter. A dip in recent form has seen them lose 3 in a row to Australia and New Zealand. What are your thoughts on the Boks side currently and where they are?
In every walk of life, you need a certain skill set to be the best. Professionalism is not about being paid, Professionalism is all about being paid for a service that you have rendered. And at this stage, we're not rendering any service to anybody in the rugby. People don't want to follow it. People don't want to actually give up a Saturday rather towards rugby, or they just want to go on with their lives. And I think where we did go wrong in a few places, firstly, my thought is that we shouldn't have gone left Super Rugby. We should have stayed with Australia and New Zealand, because they will pull you to their level. They will cause you to actually contract better, to perform better, and all those kind of things. We looked for quick fixes, and now we're paying the price for those. That's number one. Number two, we won the World Cup, which was very, very good for the country. And, it was really something that we needed at that stage. But we're not convinced in the way we played, that we're on the right track. And at this stage, people have caught up with the way we think, the way we do things. And people are now actually leaving us behind. Not because they're better than us, they're only overtaken us so far that we can't compete anymore at the level that we are supposed to do. So the one thing about us South Africans is that we do have the ability to come back. We do have the ability to play far beyond our means. And when we inspire to do it, we do actually do it very greatly. And I think that we do have a chance to actually come back. But it's going to be a once-off thing. It's not going to be because of how great we are. A good side will have an off day and they will play bad. And a bad side will have a good day and then they perform on that good day. But they will always go back to where they really have set their standards, And I think we must go do some soul searching at this stage to get to the place where we should be. We should be leaders in this game, as I told you before, and not followers.
Peter, now you personally had an excellent record against the All Blacks as Bok coach, including 100% wins in 2009. What do we need to do, if we could isolate just one game, what do we need to do to beat the old enemy when we face up to them this weekend?
Well, there's only one way how you can beat the All Blacks. Only one way. You need to respect them. You need to respect them for who they are, without being in awe of what they are doing. And respect goes a long way, If you respect them, then you actually open yourself up to expect anything on the day that they can throw to you. And that is my take at this stage, is that I think we have somewhere along the line, we have lost our own belief in our own abilities. And with that, some of the respect that we have for other people has gone down the drain too. We are living in a I don't know if you can say the cloud or fast. We're living in something that's not real at this stage. We think we can beat, and then we're not equipped to perform constantly at that level, you know. So for tomorrow, what we do need really is 15 guys who want to go out there and say, listen here, this is my last rugby game in my life. I'm going to put everything on the line. I'm going to do it not for myself only, but I'm going to do it for those people who need it so much back at home, because we all want some hope somehow and from somewhere, and I think we can find it in a test like this.
Your thoughts on the game plan? It's been a controversial one, which rugby followers worldwide have been commenting on. Too much kicking, they say. Are we kicking too much?
Yeah, I think so. I really think so. Whatever rugby asks for on the day, you should be ready for. And I don't think we're ready for it, you know. We're kicking a lot of balls away, but we're not kicking sensibly. I mean, if you look at Saturday's test past, we have built so much momentum, and then we get to the 22 of the opponents, and then we kick the ball away. How hard did we work to get there? I mean, it's something that I will never understand. That we worked so hard just to get to that stage where we can control the game, and when we get there, we kick the ball away. So that to me is something that is new. I don't understand it. It's new for me. Maybe I can't comment on it because I'm not the coaches there. They might know what they want to achieve in doing it. And like I told you, for me, it's just I have to respect what they're busy with. But as I said to you, I just can't understand why we would do a thing like that.
Now, moving away from rugby, you personally have moved into the political arena. You're one of the faces of the Good Party and their candidate for mayor of Drakenstein Municipality in the upcoming local government elections. What motivated that move, and does it mean that your love affair with rugby is now a thing of the past, Peter?
Yeah, I think so. I think my love affair with rugby is something of the past. For me, to a certain extent, I'm really delighted. I do feel that I can make a contribution in life, and one of those contributions is I thought were in rugby, but sadly people thought that no, you can't change any lives, you can't make a contribution here, and I do accept that I'm not good enough to actually make a contribution in that area. But you know what, God works in mysterious ways, and as I was sitting at home, pondering about how I think I've got such a lot to offer still in life, the Good Party came to me and they said to me, how do you feel about serving us, you know, and helping us? And I said, wow, what a great opportunity to still be involved. I've just changed 40 people at one stage in a rugby team to a whole community, but the actual principle of serving and doing what you can do to the best of your ability is still the same for me.
Thank you very much for joining us on That Weekend Feeling today, Peter. All the best with the upcoming local government elections. He's a former Springbok rugby coach. He's just completed a season in charge of the EP Elephants, and he is the Good Party's candidate for mayor of Drakenstein Municipality. Peter De Villiers, go well.
Thank you so much, and God bless you guys, and thank you for the opportunity.
That Weekend Feeling was recorded at the Radioactive Productions and Publishing Studios.
That was That Weekend Feeling with Daron Mann.